Good morning, it is Monday, which means that it's time to get back to business. I'm right now heading to a meeting to hire a few new interns because our office is looking pretty bare. So I guess I'm lucky I live in downtown Toronto because I can just set up all my meetings pretty much just in walking distance of where I am. So what's behind me is Honest Ed's. Literally it's worse than Walmart. A lot worse. Everything I've ever bought from Honest Ed's have broken on me. Like quite literally everything. Nail clippers broken. Can openers broken. All the glass that I've ever bought in this store broken. Like literally everything shatters from this store. Nobody should buy anything from this store. So whenever I do meetings and things that was like the first time I'm meeting someone and they're like applying for a job or something like work related, I always meet them here first at the Center of Social Innovation. I think it's good to have everything in neutral ground first before you invite them into your apartment. It'd be different if I had my own like real legitimate office, but you know, you do what you have to do to survive. I suck at holding interviews. Jesus. So I just want to talk about business and how people communicate in business. And one of the things that you might find is that a lot of people communicate by email, but email is one of the worst forms of communication out there. A lot of people just ignore emails. A lot of people ignore emails. A lot of people I ignore emails. So the rule is if you can meet that person in person, meet that person in person. If it's super important. If it's not as important, call them. And if it's not important at all, email. But if it's not important at all, then why bother emailing at all? So I've been spending emails this morning, and I'm just thinking, quite literally, I could just pick up the phone and call these people and have a real conversation instead of going back and forth all day long. The only time where email is important is if you have to attach an attachment or something. So that is one of my rules for startup life. Don't do emails, meet in person, go for the kill, attack, and make sure that you're presentable, personable, all that other stuff. Anyone that's applying to my company, that is also a thing. If you've applied via email or Indeed, I didn't look at it. If I only talk to people that actually try to contact me as a person. People shouldn't be late for meetings. My mic is not doing well. I think it's rusted quite a bit since the beginning of this winter. So I'm meeting a friend pretty close by. And this is the first time I'm using my bike in the last, 3 months? I'm surprised it hasn't been stolen yet. I don't feel comfortable doing this. One, my forearm is now really heavy because of this camera. I feel like this is not very safe. Wow, my forearms are really tired. How are you?
I'm good.
Good?
Are you filming me?
Yes. Apparently I need more content for my vlog. I hate how this audio thing never works. Oh, look at this.
I'd like
This is nice. I didn't know all loblaws look like this. Just at lunch with Venus. Now heading back to the office to work. So I want to talk about business, and in a way that may be new and exciting for a lot of new entrepreneurs. So there's a lot of people out there that have just started their business. They don't really understand what are the dynamics in terms of starting a business. And there's general rules that you need to know before, I guess, when you start your business that you may not realize when you first start. So I want to cover these 12 rules, which I always felt that was very important for my business here at Vacate TV. So, rule 1. Actually, I'm going to start this in a much more... I'm going to do this in my studio, because I feel like this is something that we need to talk about in my studio. So, rule 1. Don't start a company if you don't have a passion in what you're planning to do. If you don't have a passion in what you're going to do, you're going to end up hating it. And this is the entire venture is going to be a huge waste of time. So if you don't love or you don't have the passion to do what you want to do, don't do it. Now, when I say passion, it needs to be something that's more like an obsession. Something that you live, breathe, sleep. This is what you do. And this is important because basically, imagine that you're going to be marrying this person. Now, this person is going to be your company. And it's going to be a part of you for the rest of your life. So, rule number 1, you definitely need to be super passionate. You need to be obsessive about what you want to do for the rest of your life. Okay, rule number 2, you can't have an exit strategy. Now, when I say exit strategy, there's some people that like to do, they go into real estate, they eventually know they're going to sell that at some point. And that's a different type of business altogether. But if you're looking to make a career out of, and you're going to work for yourself, and you're going to do all this crazy stuff, then knowing that you're looking for an exit strategy means that it's not an obsession. And if it's not an obsession, then it's something that you're going to end up thinking, well, you don't want to do this for the rest of your life. And that's equally as bad as not following rule number 1. Rule number 3, and this is something I'm experiencing right now. You need to hire people that you will think people will love working here. So I've come across people where I generally don't think they're going to fit in with the culture. They might not even work well with me. And generally you don't want to hire, it doesn't matter how skilled those people are, if they don't get along with others and they don't fit with their company culture, then it's just going to be a huge expensive mess, and it doesn't make sense to even bother going down that route. People are generally the most expensive aspect of running a business, so make sure you hire the right people. Hiring the right people is going to go so far in comparison to hiring the wrong people. And I have experience with hiring the wrong people. Rule 4. This is the most important rule out of all the other rules out there. Sales cures all. It doesn't matter what the problem is. If you can get more sales, then you are going to be ahead, and that is going to cure whatever problem you have. Let's say it's a financial problem, if it's something else. More money definitely fixes problems faster than less money. It's a harsh world, and that's how life is. Rule number 5. So basically, when you start a business, and let's say you're just by yourself or with your partner or with your team, an important aspect of running the business is to make sure that you know where your strengths are and you focus on where your strengths are. So if your strengths is on team building, then you focus all your time on team building and you hire other people to capture wherever you're weak upon. Rule 6. This is regarding meeting people or getting to know people or anything, but lunch is always a chance to talk with other people. And so I highly suggest asking clients to come up for lunch. I highly suggest going out for lunch with your employees. I highly suggest just go out for lunch and treat it as a break out of the office, because nobody can work nonstop at all times. Everyone needs a break, and everyone needs a refresher throughout the middle of the day. So go have lunch. Rule 7. In a startup, there's no such thing as offices. In a startup, basically you are a team, you're a coordinated unit. You're trying to build this elite unit, and with this elite unit, you can't have walls between other people. So, there's no offices in a startup. Just make sure everybody is comfortable working together in a very closed, confined space. Like this office. There you go. Rule number 8. Rule number 8. If you're not super tech savvy, then focus on, as far as technology goes, go with what you know. Trying to learn new things and new concepts sometimes might be great, but oftentimes you're going to be spending a lot more time trying to adapt to this new technology as opposed to just doing what you know. And if you're spending more energy doing something that's not helping you create sales, then that's a misguided adventure. Just go with what you know. There's really no point in trying to learn all these new things unless it's something that's revolutionary, like a computer. Rule number 9. When you start your business, everyone wants to feel like they're their own boss, and people that have power trips generally like to boss other people around, which is a huge bad indicator of what a bad company really is. So if you want to have the best practices, make sure that your company has a horizontal, flat organizational structure. Everyone can report to anybody, including yourself. And if anyone has caught me doing something wrong, I want them to call me out on it. Don't be afraid to call out your superiors. Don't be afraid to call out your CEO. And that's what great leadership is. You want to be the leader that everyone looks up to, but you also want to be able to have your employees tell you when you're doing something wrong. And you don't want to have your employees be scared of you. Unless they're doing a terrible job, then whatever. Rule number 10, don't buy swag. Rule number 11, don't hire a PR firm. Rule 12, make sure that the job is fun for the employees. Happy workers are always a lot more productive than sad workers, and sad workers are generally more productive than workers that are afraid that they can't get paid at the end of the week. So from a startup perspective, make sure you hire the people that is suitable for, there's risk involved in startup, obviously. And in the beginning of every startup, there's always going to be a huge amount of risk in terms of who gets paid and whatever. So make sure that you hire the right people and make sure that, that can take the risk. Because if you're consistently having people that are always worried about when's their next paycheck, which is it's still a legitimate concern, typically those are the people that are going to end up quitting earlier because they can't sustain that amount of risk for a prolonged period. I've had a lot of experience with that. So that concludes the 12 rules you need to know in order to start your business. Now, there's 2 other rules that I like to apply on top of those 12 rules. One being, if you're going to fail fast and fail often. The faster you fail, the faster you're going to get to the success that you're looking for. And it's less time wasted on things that don't work. The second thing you need to know is you need to stay positive when you're running a business. There's going to be tons of people that are just going to give you negativity and they're going to tell you that things don't work. And, people that generally have failed in certain things or they've given up on their ambitions like to drag other people down with them. So try not to focus on them too much and focus on yourself and focus on, the saying I like to go is, you're going to win, you just haven't figured it out yet. And if you go with that type of mentality, then, anything is possible. And that's really the main point. You're starting a new business. This is your obsession. And this is something that is going to go far. You just have to have hope, and you're going to have to think smart. So if you have any comments for me or if you have any feedback, definitely leave a comment below. Like and subscribe to our channel, and good luck, because it's a hard word out there, but if you can stick it through and if you fail enough times, you're going to find that huge success. and you're gonna help the world, because that's gonna be something that hopefully helps everybody around you. Thanks for watching. Bye. Oh, this is how I'm gonna end my vlogs from now on. I don't know. Bye. So from yesterday's video, I said that our apartment's really disgusting. Our shower curtain is super disgusting. It has mold all over it, so I need to buy new ones. This is annoying. Look how moldy this is. I don't know if I like this shower curtain, but I already bought it.